The Los Angeles County District Attorney is reminding all of us how vital it is to pay attention to local elections and how great their impact can be on our communities. With me now to discuss is federal attorney and Republican strategist Vic Bajaj. Welcome back, Vic.
Thank you so much. Great to be here.
Great. So we have these two cases in which the violent suspects will both be eligible for parole within 20 years if they are convicted. Explain to me why this is causing outrage in the local community.
Well, it's important first to go back just a little bit. In the state of California, we have charges, and let's say, for instance, most of these cases that are gaining some controversy are centering around murder charges or attempted murder charges, the decapitation of the man's child or attempted murder and murder of police officers. So you have a certain punishment, for instance, 25 years to life. Now, the California state legislature has said, well, on top of that, we can add special circumstances and special allegations. Special circumstances are those which qualify a garden variety murder case to a death penalty case. And special circumstances can be things such as knowing a police officer is the victim of your shooting or attempted killing or killing before you do it, a premeditation, multiple murders, things of that nature, the atrocious, egregious crimes of our society that we have to live through, unfortunately. We also have sentencing enhancements. So you may have an assault with a weapon, and the weapon may cause an additional enhancement. Or you may have suffered a prior strike, a violent felony in the state of California, and that can double your subsequent punishments. What District Attorney Gascon is saying is, well, we don't care what the state legislature says. We don't care about the enhancements that have been passed legally through the legislature. We're just going to ignore it. And I am saying to my district attorneys below me, says Gascon, don't even worry about the law. We don't want any special circumstances. We don't want any enhancements. We just want the punishment that's the principal punishment for the crime. Now, the reason why this raises eyebrows is because it's illegal. What the district attorney there is doing is telling all the deputy district attorneys below him, hey, I don't trust you. I don't trust you to exercise your discretion. We're never going to increase punishments. We want the bare minimum for these mostly violent criminals. So there are victims who have been suffering. Communities don't feel safe. It's not to say that there aren't times that criminal punishments are too severe, but this surely is sort of slapping the face of the legislature, the lawmakers, and the community.
These enhancements and special charges, is the point of these to deter crime?
Absolutely. It's not only punishment, and in our state penal code we have directives of our crime or goals of our crime punishment. Deterrence, punishment in and of itself, taking the pound of flesh away from those who may have committed some egregious crimes. And I'll tell you, in my almost 20 years as a defense litigator and having tried murder cases in front of juries who are looking at the evidence with the white of their eyes, there are some extraordinarily gruesome crimes that need to be punished. We understand that. Punishments are extraordinarily difficult, and they're difficult for judges to administer. And that's why the legislature dictates these to have consistency throughout the state. Yes, it's deterrent, but let's not forget that many of these crimes are crimes of passion, and that's why there are specific carve-outs or exceptions for premeditation or multiple murders, or those that are clearly not crimes of passion. They are deterrent because many times, for instance, in gang violence, gang officers know that when they prosecute and investigate these active gang members, they are many times violent and very educated in the law. They're not going to step in the mud if they know the consequences.
Do you think we're seeing a rise in the trend of soft-on-crime prosecutors? I know Gascon, if we look at him specifically, he is being sued right now by his prosecutors union. However, when we look nationwide, there are plenty of prosecutors who seem to agree with Gascon. Is that the trend we're currently seeing?
In certain jurisdictions, yes. We talk about Soros money and other public interest money or private interest money. Here in San Diego, California, we had the very same ugly force in our last district attorney's election. Now, we have Summer Stephan here in San Diego who defeated upwards of $1 million put into her opponent's coffers for a momentary time. And that was soft on crime. Don't punish people like the legislature says they should be punished. Now, it's a very interesting contrast. I encourage all our listeners and viewers to look at certain cases. Our district attorney, Summer Stephan, has said to this very district attorney in Los Angeles, give me back the cases I put in your jurisdiction. And what that means is many times district attorneys give each other cases when there's a defendant apprehended in another jurisdiction. Now, Summer Stephan has said, give me back the cases because doing away with these enhancements and these mandatory punishments that the law and the legislature say are legal and mandated is unfair to the community and it's unfair to the victims. So, yes, it's turned into an unfortunate popularity contest. However, it really slaps the face again of the safety-seeking members of our law-abiding community.
And do you think that that a lot of these prosecutors, that they're ideologues, that they, I guess perhaps they don't connect the rise in crime with their own soft on crime approach?
That may be the case, but when we say district attorney, I want to be very careful for everyone to understand. We have deputy district attorneys, hundreds of prosecutors, which are working underneath the appointed or elected district attorney. What we see is a trend of the district attorneys, the elected officials, being soft on crime because that's the flavor of the year or the couple of years. People vote for it. They think crime is punished too aberrantly, and it shouldn't actually be that way. Perhaps it's racially motivated or targets the poor or the lower socioeconomic stratospheres and stratifications of our society. But the deputy district attorneys, who are the ones with their finger on the pulse of what happens in court, they're the ones trying the cases. They're the ones negotiating with defense attorneys. They have the right discretion and the right to exercise that discretion to charge these crimes. So the politicians who run for election, if we're saying those are the district attorneys, are moving towards a soft on crime platform. That's where the money's going to support those elections. The deputy district attorneys underneath these elected officials who may be soft on crime are not happy about it, and we see many of the unions rising up against the elected officials.
There is still hope out there, but Vic, I always appreciate your experience and your insight on these matters. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you so much.